And we are live. Hello, beautiful people, and happy Sunday. Welcome to another edition of 4D Lum Live. It's your girl, Jamie, aka Yanaj. And what this is so every Sunday at 4 p.m., I go live talking about questions people have sent me throughout the week. These questions involve anything for immigrants in Canada, literally anything. One second, let me just tell you what it ranges from. I answered things on navigating culture shock when you first arrive, making friends in Canada, finding a job, what schools to go to for certain courses, how to brand yourself as an immigrant, and how to network in Canada. And I also now even answer YouTube questions as well. So right now on this live session, I'll be talking about questions people sent me throughout the week. And then how you can send me questions if you're interested is you could DM me at byyanaj, or you could email me at byyanaj@gmail.com. Links or anything you want to know in the description box below. Okay, so that being said, if you are new, where have you been? You've been missing out on all this goodness, but it's never too late. So just right now, thank you, right now. Then also subscribe to the channel and turn on that bell notification so you do not miss any of this live Q&As, just in case your question happens to be one of the ones we answer on the live session. You don't want to miss that. I don't think so. Okay, something else I also love to do before I go right into questions, I want to know what all of you are watching this live session, or if you're watching it after it's gone up on the channel, please let me know in the comment box where you're from. I'm always very interested to know where everyone is from. And just so you know, I'm from Nigeria and I live in Toronto, if that helps you. Okay, perfect. Another thing that's not so fun that I always do here is a disclaimer. I am not an immigration consultant or a lawyer. I'm just a friendly face sharing my own knowledge and experience in Canada, okay? And just so you give you some context, I've been here 3 years. So I've lived in Toronto, I've lived in Kingston, and I've been able to travel to a couple provinces. So that's why I can share my experience a little bit. Without further ado, let's dive right into the questions that have been sent to me throughout the week. Oh my God, hi from Qatar, how are you? Okay, so Tazrin asks me, is there any opportunity for business students in Newfoundland? He wants to study in Memorial University of Newfoundland. So guys, just so you know, Memorial University is one of the schools I discussed in my top 10 universities and colleges video, as well as cheaper schools to go to. If you're looking for cheap schools in Canada, you should definitely check that video out. I'll link it up. But to answer this question, I wouldn't know so much about business opportunities in Newfoundland, but I know this very well. Business is something that thrives in big cities. And St. John's, which is the capital of Newfoundland, is not necessarily a big city. It's not the 3 big cities. It's not a metropolitan area. So there, of course, are some businesses, but I imagine there'll be businesses that are small size or in the fisheries industry, because it's on the coast of the Atlantic. It's actually the most eastern part of North America, which is a fun fact. So there'll probably be a lot of fishing going on there, a lot of seafood businesses, but not so much businesses you think would thrive in the metropolitan area. Just so you know, I'm going to Newfoundland in 2 weeks, so I probably will come back and give you a review of the place and let you know how I felt about it. But yes, what some people can do also is you can school there, you can go to Memorial University and then come to a city to find work. It's not going to be as easy as if you school in a city, because while you're schooling, you have the time to network with key professionals in the industry you're trying to get into. But if you're in Newfoundland, it'll be hard to do that in a city like Toronto, which is a good flight away, or Montreal or Vancouver. So that being said, the pro of schooling in Memorial University would be the fact that it's a good enough school, but also it's cheaper compared to the cities. But you'd lose that time networking with the business industry, so to speak. Does that help you? Yes. So the next question is, this is a scenario question. Let's say I've already entered Canada, but then I decide to change my program and apply for another program in May or September. Am I allowed to stay legally in Canada and work while I wait for admission into the new program? So this is kind of dodgy, just so to speak. The truth is, why are you changing your program if you apply to it? So it's different if you come to the program, you don't like it after a while, but you already paid tuition. You're going to ask for a refund. And a lot of schools don't give refund after a certain date. So what usually happens is, say, let me put this a picture. You apply to a program in September, start in September, and say in February, you don't want to do that program anymore. You're going to have to drop out, meaning that you will not get a certain amount of your tuition back because it's way past the 2 weeks or the 1 month. And then you can definitely wait in Canada that period while you apply for another admission. And you only, because you still have a study permit, you only be allowed to work for 20 hours while you're waiting for that new admission, is what I understand. If it's like during the holiday period, you might be allowed to work full-time hours, but I don't necessarily know how that works if you are switching schools. Usually what I know happens is if you want to switch schools, you just have to like contact CIC and let them know you're changing schools and your new admission date runs up till this time, or your new graduation date for this program would be this, and then your study permit would be updated. So, of course, as long as you have a valid study permit, you can work. You can wait in Canada and work part-time. However, you need to update CIC as soon as your condition changes. That was Seinfeld. I'm done with that question. Okay. Okay, guys, if you're on the live chat right now, you can leave your questions. I only have 3 more questions to go through, and then I can answer yours at the end of these questions, okay? So next question. Margaret wants to know Andrea wants to know about PR, permanent residency, as it relates to me. Okay. Have I finished my studies? Am I currently working in my field? Am I applying for my PR? And if so, can I do a video on the process? I'm going to answer that reverse. Yes, I'm going to do a video on PR process as soon as I can get some time. Guys, it's so hard doing all the things I'm doing. Long story. Anyways, yes, I have currently finished my studies, and I wouldn't say I'm working in my field directly, but the fact that I did a master's in business allows me to work in any field. Hey. So I'm working as a consultant right now. However, even though I have points that are higher than what has been accepted in the different polls for permanent residency, my points do not exactly fit into any of the categories for permanent residency. This is a whole topic. It's like, I need to break that down to you guys. So I have about, last time I calculated my points, it was about 480. And the last time there was a draw, I think they were accepting permanent residency applications with 430. Points of 430. However, you need to meet the minimum requirements. So I'm now trying to apply for the Canadian experience class, meaning that I have to have at least 1 year of full-time work experience under a work permit. So even if I have all these points from like everywhere else, it doesn't fit that category, if that makes sense. When I do a video on permanent residency, it'll become like clear. I hope that answers your question, Andrea. Or your questions actually. Next question. This person wants to know if I have any contacts he can connect with before he comes over here for school. I have mentioned this in my videos before. If you're going to say, let me talk about the schools I've been to, Humber or Queens, and you get admitted into the program, there is always an opportunity to join the International Students Facebook group or the Facebook group for your course or your program. That way you can connect with people before you arrive. Alternatively, there are other cultural groups around the city you can check Facebook for. Say you're from Bangladesh, you can look for Bangladeshi people in Toronto on a Facebook group, or this app called Meetup. I talked about this in Top 10 Things Every International Student coming to Canada should know. It's one of my first videos. So check that out again in the description box below. And then he asks any ideas on what schools are affordable and can give him a 1-year certificate program in his field and opportunity for a work permit. I just say, check out my video on top universities and colleges, and as well as the most affordable ones. I have already addressed that before. Well, thank you for your question still. And the last question before we wrap all this up. This is a good question. This has nothing exactly to do with school. This person actually took my advice, so he could really ask me anything. He also wants to know why I switched from an IT background to media and advertising for my postgraduate certificate. Okay, guys, this is more personal, so get to know me a little bit more. I had an IT degree in Nigeria, and I came here and did media instead. It wasn't because of the job opportunities in IT or anything like that, because I think there's even more pay in IT and any other STEM related fields. However, my personality is not too left or blue, which just means I'm not, even though I can be really technical, I thrive in a situation where I'm talking to people more. I'm actually seeing a project from start to end. And that was why I switched to something less technical and more creative. Or no, actually, that encompasses both my tech experience and my soft skills, if that helps. Okay, now with that answer, I would now go on to the live questions chat box and answer the questions you guys have there for me. Ooh, okay, thank you so much for the compliment about my glasses. That's nice. Oh, he wants to know where I bought my dress. Ugh. Long story. You can DM me and we'll talk about that. Okay, an actual question. How much should I budget for both school fees and accommodation? I want to come for my master's program next year. So that question is there's a lot, it's actually very vague. So if you can give me more insight as to where you're going to study. You said it's your master's, what school or what program. So do your research, find out what schools there are. If you're coming to schools in Toronto or like Montreal or Vancouver, they're generally more expensive. And let me see. So you want to calculate the cost of your tuition and about half of that for cost of living. So say I studied in Hamburg for my postgraduate certificate, and 1 year for an international student was about 15,000 at the time, 50,000 Canadian. I also had to budget at least 7,000 for cost of living, which includes rent, transportation, feeding, and all of that. I talk about cost of living in detail in another video before, so check that out, okay? Cheapest schools in Canada, I've also made a video on that, so check my description box. So just go through my channel. Dana, I really don't know so much about nursing, so I really can't help you on that. However, so at the end of this, we've come to the end of this live session. Thank you all, the 11 people who joined me on today. Please do me a favor and click on that notification bell so you do not miss this next week, just in case you have the questions that I'm going to be answering on there. And hey, Shanice, welcome from the Bahamas. Oh my God, it's so beautiful there. I've seen pictures. I want to go. Okay, so yes, sorry, one last question. I need to get to this before I end this video. Is it possible to apply for your diploma without IELTS for some schools? I did my IELTS in Nigeria and I did not need it because they said I needed IELTS. But the second I showed that all my degrees were taught or instructed in English, that box for upload your IELTS results just went poof. So yes, it's possible to do that for a diploma without IELTS. That being said, we've come to the end of this Sunday live edition of 4G Lum Live. Thank you all for all the 10, 11 plus people who showed up today to listen to me talk. And I hope I've been able to help you with all your questions. Thank you for staying to the end. I have one bonus fact, fun fact about Canada. There's still only one place in Canada that's still governed by France, or the French, by the French. It's called St. Pierre and Miquelon. So even though it's situated in Canada, it does not belong to Canada. Check that out on Google Maps. Okay, so I wish you guys all a blessed week, and I look forward to chatting with you again next week, Sunday at 4 p.m. I hope you've liked and subscribed and click the bell notification. Have a blessed week, people. Bye.